Let's go, Oklahoma fans. It was a weird game. So we start things off here with, obviously, last week versus Temple, you gained a pretty big play early on one of these kind of jet sweep reverse kind of plays. It was something like that. My memory is foggy right now. And Houston obviously watched film. Big loss to start things off. All right, so we get to this 3rd and 15, and Houston is in a very elaborate alignment. Only a 3-man rush, 5 guys at the sticks, and there's 3 safeties behind it, more than likely in cover 3. I've never seen a defense be this flat-footed, right? None of these guys are moving. It's very, very, very bizarre. And, man, it is highly unlikely anything is going to be open here. There is a safety over the top of this. So I know some people are going to say, well, this is just wide open here. Now, there's definitely a safety cap in that right there. And there's just honestly nothing open here. And you throw it right here, and 3rd and 15, and you just live to fight another day. Good job by Houston getting off the field early. And then obviously one little coaching point, 10's a very valuable player. They're tight end. I have no idea what the hell he's doing here. Like, what is this, right? You are just asking yourself for serious injury doing this on your own. You notice he wasn't really flipped here, okay? He just kind of did it on himself. You don't ever want to do that. Okay, so we move ahead here. I know I'm skipping a lot, have a lot of film studies to cut. Man, this is just really good football right here. Just an RPO, right? 2019 LSU did such a great job of, these types of plays, right? You read the safety, bring him into the box, and you need a talented enough quarterback to throw around this. And Arnold does a really smart thing, okay? You see that this defender is right in the alley. So he actually throws the ball slightly behind 15, who had a big day. That's a really good job of ball location. It looks behind him, but that avoided the defender, and you get a tutty. So 2nd and 11, obviously Houston's offense these first couple of weeks still adjusting to the Fritz offense. Ford's like, I'm open, but you want to throw this, right? That's pretty much the design of the play, and he leads them pretty well. I remember when Marquis Stevenson wore this number 5 for Houston, okay? Houston's produced some good receivers. And, you guys hammered me for what I said last week about Oklahoma's tackling. Once again, you guys know better than me. Just anecdotally last year, it seemed like Houston or Oklahoma had some tackling issues. 5 almost got out of this from Danny Stutsman. He was able to do enough to bring him down. But there were some whiffs that I saw in this game. All right, sometimes the other team just makes plays, and that's exactly what happens here. You'll see that Houston is really heavy here, right? Tons of tight ends, and, well, you're running play action under center. It is the biggest cheat code for a quarterback. And you're trying to run some kind of throwback here, and Oklahoma has it covered, okay? 6 does a really good job blocking on this play, and Oklahoma loses contain to the right-handed side of a right-handed dual-threat quarterback. You really don't ever want to do that because it gives them opportunities to make plays down the field such as this, right? Bang! That is an absolutely perfect throw. Bottom line is Houston's red zone defense Oklahoma's red zone defense was incredible, absolutely incredible in this game, okay? It does help that there's a assignment mishap right here. Receiver's not even looking for the ball, right? If Field's looking for the ball, he's gaining a big chunk of yardage here, more than likely. But guess what? You're blitzing off the edge. You're playing aggressive. I don't know what Stutsman was looking at here. He was running with 23. I don't know. But that's a good play by 24 to bring him. Man, Brent Venables is always going to have his defense prepared to play in the red zone. Man, they just read this all the way, right? Guy just right there, he just blows it up. One little creative wrinkle that I would include in this, obviously 14's trying to block, and this is just absolutely piss poor, okay? Do something instead of that. That's just terrible. So that's a good job by 26 blowing this up. Obviously, to counter this, you want to fake this and have 14 go out on a route right here. But still, it's blown up. It's better defense mixed with some bad offense. All right, let's talk Oklahoma run game. Let me know what you guys think about Oklahoma's run blocking from the first couple of weeks. This is a good call right here, right? This is an extremely light box, a 5-ish, 6-man box. So you should be able to run against this with better athletes in Houston. And, man, it's kind of a weird run fit. 44 is just trying to get over the top of this stretch to the right, and that's a good job by 2 seeing this. Once again, this hole is viciously wide open. Now, remember last week we talked about 2. He was able to get through clean and not make a guy miss. This is as clean of a run-through you can ask for. You're going up against one of their single digits. We need you to go past them. I'm a little shocked he tried to cut back instead of just running through here. And, well, guess what? He goes down easy, but he does fall forward, so we take it. A little shocked that teams don't run more pistol. I would run a lot more pistol. A lot. For a lot of different reasons, okay? I think it's a good mixture of under center and the shotgun all at the same time, right? Because you don't know which direction the run is actually going to go pre-snap if you are indeed running it. But once again, 15 on the deep over. Arnold has been amazing. Absolutely amazing throwing the deep over. Man, Arnold's RPO reads have been really, really good. I understand we're not really covering his bad reps. There was a lot of inconsistency mixed in this game. But I don't have time to go through all of it and watch every single rep. This is a very, very, very strange rep, but an incredible one here from Jackson Arnold. And I understand a lot of QB coaches would say, hey, 87 is open over the middle, and that's where he is looking. But you'll see that the DB is all over the tight end here, and then he peels off here to this player, and the tight end opens up, right? You're rarely going to see that. Rarely, okay? So I'm going to give Arnold a pass for not throwing this, okay? So especially if you have the playmaking ability like this. This is Manzielian, if you will, okay? If you were to tell me right now Arnold's going to beat a decent, athletically gifted defensive end and not only beat him to the outside, but turn up field on it, I wouldn't have told you that based on that screen grab right there. But he is able to do such a thing. This is ridiculous athleticism to keep your feet in bounds. So this is actually a really good call in this 3rd and 2, right? You've been killing him with some inside runs. So this time you're leaking the tight end, all right? And one of my favorite ways to leak a tight end, Arkansas did a good job of this versus Oklahoma State. They weren't able really to connect in the red zone. That film site's floating in the top right corner of your screen, is doing it going cross field. It makes it even tougher, right? The innermost tight end is also more effective because it's a lesser distance from going there to there. And pre-snap, you as a defense, you're more worried about this tight end, the more outermost tight end, the receiving tight end, number 10. So 87 just leaks across here. It looks like he's blocking. You notice he doesn't just go right at the snap, and he sells it beautifully, okay? Easy pitch and catch touchdown. You had 87 a minute ago. This time you feed the big man. Let's go, Sooners. Venables is a cheat code defensively, an absolute cheat code, man. This is some nasty defense and a clinic on a technique called a wrong arm, right? What a wrong arm is when a puller comes around, it's basically how you decide to play a puller, okay? So what a wrong arm means is you're using this right arm to get underneath this puller to go to the inside, okay? There's 2 different types of techniques you can do versus a puller. Well, there's actually 3, okay? You can do a wrong arm, okay? You can also do something what's called a box technique where you're not going to the inside. You're just cramming his outside shoulder and just playing it square and giving the running back this hole, but just squeezing it, okay? Or you could just blow him up, right? Now, I'm not the absolute hugest fan of a wrong arm, but once again, it just depends. I think you can, defend it a lot of different ways, but you definitely want to wrong arm when you know that there is a blitzer coming in from behind. So Pre-snap, Houston has to like this run fit, right? One linebacker, 4 defensive linemen, a soft-ish, 5-ish, 6-ish man box. But at the last second, Oklahoma screams this slot corner in, and 90, this is good wherewithal. He knows if he sees a puller, especially with a blitzer coming from behind, he has got to get underneath this and blow this up, especially if you have a blitzer who's your new contained defender. This is really good, sound, fundamental defense. Look at how tight 90 plays this, right? This is really doing the dirty work. And this can also lead to massive collisions, right? My favorite thing about a wrong arm is that it actually does limit a collision. If you square it or if you box it, this collision becomes bigger. But if you get underneath it and get skinny, look at how he gets underneath it and creates a pile with 15 right here coming off the edge. It's a good job by Stutsman, coming over the top of this. 15 does a good job taking the outside shoulder of this puller, and now Stutsman is right here to read it and pick up the scraps. I mean, that's teach tape on how to defend that play. And look at this tackle, man. This is why this guy's the best linebacker in the SEC, okay? Look at this. I mean, just look at this. Boom. I mean, that is downright filthy. And I understand that after this play, Oklahoma's offense just went mute, okay? God, on 3rd and 5, if you see blitzers over the middle, okay, you want to penalize teams or tell them to not blitz over the middle, right? A-gap blitzers are the most dangerous players in a pass protection. Not only does Oklahoma pick it up well, they pick it up okay, right? One guy did eventually come free right here. This is more elite quarterbacking from Jackson Arnold. You want to throw in the direction of the blitz, in particular over the middle. If they're going to open up this space over the middle, that's where you want to go with the football 12 times out of 10, okay? And you hit 6 right in stride, who also had some good moments here in this game. And it's also some decent yak after the catch. All right, Oklahoma, let me know what you guys feel about 10. Obviously, 28 is a stud, right? He's going to play in the NFL a long time. It looked like 10 had kind of a tough game. Now, once again, I wasn't able to watch the full game. Only true Oklahoma fans can make true judgments on these full games, right? I understand that's weird because I'm positioning myself as the film guy here. But let me know if there's more reps where he looked better, because it looked like he had some rough moments in space in this game. All right, and then we get to the touchdown. I mean, there's just no other way around this, right? No idea what the coverage call is here, okay? Obviously when you're playing versus a cloud corner, the best thing to have is just 2 verticals, right? Running right at the safety on this half. So judging by this, it looks like this is a variation of 3, okay? This guy goes over here. This guy goes center field. And then this guy, his responsibility is deep third, right? So there's no excuse for him to not be over the top of this, right? Normally I could be a little lenient, especially if this was 2 verticals, but this looks like more of an in-breaker, so you have to know that this single high safety is going to pick it up if he crosses your face. So he has his eyes on the backfield. There really is also no excuse for this because Houston's run game was good but not elite. So there's no reason for your eyes to be locked in on the backfield, especially if it's a run going to the left. Your first responsibility is just covering this, and this is just an all-time coverage bust. Unless this is supposed to be some variation of quarters where the corner was supposed to run with them, I don't think this is quarters. I just don't. Maybe Venables talked about this in the postgame. I don't have time going to the postgame audio. Okay? Center field safety picks this up if he's running, obviously, over the deep middle. And you never want automatic, clear-cut, walk-in touchdowns such as that, right? Absolutely, positively magical here from Jackson Arnold. Or should I say Jackson Dart? Honestly, don't know if I've actually been saying Dart in this film study. It was an honest mistake on the last one, I promise you. Man, this is ridiculous, okay? He knows he has to get this football out quick. He reads at the last second that this guy is actually blitzing, so you want to throw the RPO right here. And look at that. He's able to get the football. He kind of floats it, sidearms it out there, and he gets it there to Six. And Six does a really good job, man. Some good guile and creativity to make that guy miss. And he fall forward for a first down. This is the first play that Oklahoma ran versus Temple, all right? And you're getting exactly what you want. You're getting exactly what you want. Everybody looking into the play action fake. And if you look, bang, right here. You have 3 verticals going up against 3 defenders, essentially. This guy, and this guy. Now, number 2 is doing a good job gaining depth right here, but he doesn't get enough depth, and you'll see it from this angle, all right? Arnold tries to throw this ball deep when it should have been going here, okay? You saw in the very first play, it wasn't the very first play versus Temple, he hit the deep over after 2 deep verticals, and that's where he probably should have gone with this. 15 had been his hot hand. There was some pressure, but if this ball is thrown to 15, it's a touchdown, right? Instead, 6 has a route run better than him than the DB. Once again, I don't have the all 22 here. 6 might have just gotten beat to the inside, and Darnold thought he was bending probably a little bit more. I don't know. It's still a bad pick. The good thing about this, though, is 20 is not a single-digit athlete, obviously. Better safeties are running for this, making this guy miss. He actually falls backwards and loses some field position. It's a good job by 6 getting him down to the ground, and it's basically an arm punt. 3 who got the pick. And once again, I know some of the names of these players. I just say the numbers more often than not because, everyone's going to know the number because you can see the number, okay? Especially when the names aren't on the backs of the jerseys, okay? 32. You guys got to let me know who the defensive ends coach is for Oklahoma. They are really, really smart football players, okay? Sometimes you're not the guy who's going to make the play, all right? So if you're not going to make the play, or let's say he was the contained defender here and he gets hooked to the inside, at least make a pile. Be disruptive, okay? And that's exactly what he does, all right? I don't like losing your feet. I really don't. But notice how disruptive 32 is. He's able to create a pile. If you're going to make a pile, don't just fall down. At least cause some disruption. And he gets this running back going horizontal. It's not bad. It's not great. It's not bad either. And 3 just knifes in there and makes a nice play. All right, remember we're talking about the third down defense of Oklahoma? I have no idea what Houston was thinking defensively here, okay? Who cares if you get beat over the top? Get off the damn field, force them to punt. All you need is a field goal to take the lead. And what do? Well, you get very soft defensively. You run a variation of Tampa 2 where the linebacker backs up past the sticks. I mean, this is one of the worst defensive calls of the season. It really, really, really is. Why would you give the go-to guy in this game, 6, the sticks right here? Why? Why would you allow this? I mean, I give Arnold a lot of credit eventually seeing this, but that is, I'm serious, the worst defensive call of the year. All right, so we get to this 3rd and 6, and this is a lot better, okay? Instead of just sinking everyone back past the sticks, play aggressive, right? They're running in breakers at the sticks. That's what they're going to do, okay? So this time he finds 6, but you stop him short, right? Because you had guys at the sticks to hold on and force them to punt. All right, 1st and 10, and man, big play. I mean, there's no other way around it. Was this a safety? Normally, I see referees give running backs a benefit of the doubt. You have to know as an RB to not fall backward at all here, at all. Or if you're a QB, I mean, that's such a tough play for the QB to just pull it last second here. You never want an unblocked 3-tech, though, unless you're reading that 3-tech. That's just such a big play for the safety. Alrighty, so ugly game for Oklahoma to win. And look, there's going to be so much made about barely beating Houston, who had a rough week 1. You knew they were going to bounce back at week 2. Willie Fritz is a good coach, right? He made some good staff hires. And they've got a good quarterback, right? You knew going into this game that it was going to be tough. Houston's been a non-Power 5 team for a long time. Now they are in the Power 4 or whatever you want to call it. But even before then, they've always been a strong program, and I give Oklahoma a lot of credit for scheduling them, right? But, man, Oklahoma, they had some really low football IQ moments here. And that includes this, okay? Now, there is never in a million years should you take your helmet off in this situation. There was probably going to be no penalty, and he does it right in front of the white hat. So let's put a bow on this. And once again, Oklahoma fans and Houston fans, correct me if I'm wrong on any of my analysis, including my guy, Jackson Dart. I might have called him Jackson Dart a few times. Obviously, his name is Jackson Arnold. It's a joke from our first film study. And make sure you check that out. So, obviously, the Temple game was also kind of clunky, but you still dominated. And then you played a better team in Houston. And, man, the QB stat lines in this game were freaking weird, right? It's definitely one of the weirder QB battles, right? Because we know Smith is a really good player for Houston. He's very experienced. And this is absolutely ridiculous playmaking, right? First off, give Danny Stutsman again. I mean, how many – I'm just being honest. How many defensive players are better than him in the SEC, right? Is it James Pierce, Walker at Kentucky, that end at South Carolina, the true freshman, is really sensational? Who's a better defensive player than Danny Stutsman? This took a miracle to get this football over him, right? No linebacker in the history of ever is stopping that, and that is an absolutely ridiculous play. So I was a little shocked that Houston didn't call a timeout, but I also understand why they didn't, because it also prevents Oklahoma from getting their Hail Mary defense in. But, you're taking a look at the two stat lines here between, obviously, Jackson Dart, whose numbers don't look that great, and Smith. And obviously, statistically, this was a very strange game for Houston skill guys. Like LSU, they were really struggling to get their run game going despite going into the season, both teams liking their run game. So let's start with the positives. I don't think now I've called him Jackson Darnold. I don't think Jackson Arnold was terrible in this game. He obviously did a lot of good things. The pick was bad, obviously, but, for the most part, I thought he was okay. It's just the overall structure, a 252 offensive yardage output game, and Houston outgained you. Now, in all fairness, a lot of Houston's yards did come on that one blown coverage and a 2-minute drill at the end of the first half. So it is a little different, and they also got some yards here. But let's also be honest as well. This Oklahoma offense is a bit broken right now. It looks like they're lacking some playmaking ability. It's just overall clunky. They're obviously not bad at the skill position players. They're obviously not bad at the quarterback position. I just don't know if they're elite anywhere, and that includes play caller. And that's one of the downsides of having, defensive head coach, right? You're always trying to replace that offensive mind that if he's good, he's going to get a college job as a head coach somewhere else. But I don't think the sky is falling for Oklahoma, and I do think they're still legitimate college football playoff contenders. I want to show you Danny Stutsman again. Football IQ is through the roof here. It really is, okay? So I don't know if his job right here was to even be a QB spy. You see him right here guarding the flats. But if he freelances, this is absolutely smart stuff. I hate three-man rushes in a Hail Mary situation. It never makes sense to me. I always like to at least blitz one corner to get a faster guy back there, because the goal of this is not to get pass rush. The goal of this is to chase down the quarterback when he rolls out to buy extra time to make a deep throw. And we know Smith has completed a Hail Mary for the victory. So Stutsman's like, look, there's no point in me guarding anyone on a route here. Let me just run the guy down. So I don't know if Smith saw Stutsman or if he felt him at all, but look at this. He was all the way over here, and I think Smith in this situation, I don't know why his receivers aren't running all goes, especially if you already have an underneath option. If you're Smith, you just got to get over here, plant your feet, and just chunk this football as deep as you can, because this isn't winning you the game, especially with nobody to lateral it to. And then look at Stutsman. He actually chases this down. He knows this is the final play. Let me put foot on the gas. He knows the guy's probably not scoring gear, but he still hustles down and gets his 15th and most important tackle of the game to end it. Okay, well, it wasn't his most important, but you guys get the point. Stutsman is an All-American, as we all know. Houston's defense, Oklahoma's defense is pretty solid, as you guys could see. But, man, this game versus Tennessee could get ugly here in a few weeks. So comment below. Let me know what you guys think, and we'll talk to you soon. Okay, it is Power Hour SEC. Boom. And tonight, we are doing pancakes. Let's go.